The spiritual ethos and the philosophical outlook that the Bhagavad-Gita postulates paves the way for the liberation of man who, as Rousseau said, being born free, is everywhere in chains. But equally, it is a mirror of human psychology which enables man to discern his debilities for appropriate redressal. All the same, the boon of an oral tradition that kept it alive for 2 millennia became its bane with the proliferation of interpolations therein. Besides muddying its pristine philosophy, these insertions affect the sequential conformity and structural economy of the grand discourse. What is worse, to the chagrin of the majority of the Hindus, some of these legitimize the inimical caste system while upholding the priestly perks and prejudices. This rendition seeks to restore to the Gita its original character by ridding it of 109 interpolations which tend to keep the skeptics away from it. And ironically, these muddle the understanding of its adherents as well. In the theatre of man, as nothing surpasses the drama of war, the stage for unveiling the Gita's unrivaled philosophy was set on the battleground of Kurukshetra at the threshold of the battle of Mahabharata. Thus spoke Dhritarashtra, "Apprise Sanjay what transpires as my sons with Kaurava force face the sons of my sibling, eager for the war on hand." Thus spoke Sanjaya, eyeing Pandavas there lined up, so to assess relative strengths reached Duryodhan, thrown in time. "Find Acharya," said the prince, "Pandava force thus there arrayed, none other than by Drishtadyum, whom thou taught all tricks of war. Virat and Drupat, so Yudhana, with Bhima and Arjun they stand out. Drishtaket, the one to dread, king of Kashi and Purijit, Kuntibhos and Saibya to Chekitan their foes augment. Uttamaus and Yudhamanyu, Abhimanyu so Vikranta, Draupadi's offspring not to speak, 5-star generals all no less. For thy feel of our own strength, roll call heroes of our so revered, thou with Bhish, Karna and Kripa, make all four our field marshals. Bhurishrao, Aswatham and Vikarn, our marshals, near field marshals, with their lives on line for me, adapted weaponry, varied all, abound valorous in our ranks, past masters of group warfare. Nurses Bhishma, force our vast, lot its Bhimas, 10 days small. Let's close ranks in well-laid files, cover we flanks for Bhishma's guard. Words by these moved, grandsire Bhish, warrior verily, unrivaled, war cry he gave with his conch. Egged by Bhishma, gate Kauravas, war cries there rent those high skies. Krishna and Arjun, in their turn, from chariot of white stallions, gave in kind they with kindred. With Panchajanya, Lord Krishna broke sound barriers with Arjun, who blew to hilt Devadatta as blade Bhima his Poundra. Blew Conch Yudhishthir full-throated, Ananta Vijaya in tandem with his siblings Nakul and Sahadev, Bruhu Sughosh and Manipushpak. King of Kashi, Master Acha, Sikhandi Marshal, their formidable. Satyaki, Drishtadyumna and Virat, warriors they all, never vanquished. Drupada as well, Draupadi's progeny, with their hero Abhimanyu, blew O monarch at one go, conches of theirs to deafening sound. Tumult that ensued shook the ground, bewildered Kauravas as skies rolled. When came time to join lines, so it happened, O my lord, with his Gandiv in harness, Hanuman's ensign in flutter, Arjun stayed at Kaurav's heart and thus spoke to Lord Krishna. Thus spoke Arjuna, "Pray for the chariot, ours of friend, so that I can have a look at those itching for this war. Time I discern those backing Duryodhan the evil-minded." Thus spoke Sanjaya. Of friend Krishna took Arjun in their chariot drawn by four. Beseech Krishna, then Arjun, that he behold Bhishma and Drona, as well all those there gathered. Espied Arjun his clansmen, granddads, uncles, brothers and all, teachers as well, friends of note. At the sight of his kinsmen, he in distress spoke worried. Thus spoke Arjuna, disturbed kinsfolk here gathered, feel I parch, it nauseates too. Horrify no end, prospects war, ungrips Gandiv, looks I am sick. Looks like it's an illusion, Lord I envision, bad omens all. Crave I not for power or pelf, what's it worth to kill Kauravas? No not avails, what empire, what sort pleasures it entails? Whom all we wish well in life, here their faces risking same. As they oppose dads, granddads, sons, grandsons, so uncles, brothers-in-law and teachers too. Vardha stakes be sky high like, ruling earth and heaven as well. Let those Kauravas itch for fight, I won't have this war on hand. Go as they on sinful path, why earn sin by killing them? See I no gain by their end, why then kill or kith and kin? Blinded by greed, bent on deceit, fail they foresee, war ruins the race. Wiser for the woes of wars, why not, Lord, we restrain now? Die as en masse, therma's votaries, won't that let go, youth our savior? Sex ratio adverse, that war ensues, turns women soft on caste barriers. Fallen women all go to hell. What is more, their bastards rob posthumous rights of forebearers. License law of women wanton, set our race on ruinous course. Is it not said, O my lord, fail who dharma or hellbound? What use killing kith and kin? Why should we sin, lusting crown? Disarm I now on my own, let them harm me if they deem. Thus spoke Sanjaya. Thus, O Raja, despaired Arjun, arms he through and sad distress. Ends thus Arjuna's dilemma, the first chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, treatise of self-help. On to the second chapter. Thus spoke Sanjaya. In pity Krishna addressed Arjuna, bogged in sorrow, with tears profuse. Thus spoke the Lord, oh, what affliction at this juncture, holy Anaryan, unholy as well. Mindset impotent that unnerves, strengthen thou for fight on hand. Thus spoke Arjuna, adore as I, how dare I, make Bhishma and Drona target? Better I go with begging bowl, than in disgrace slaying them. What doth glitter have scepter in the bloodstained hands of mine? Those as oppose, we hate hurting. What use war, who victors are? About my duty, I am in doubt. Kindly tell me what is right. Beset by doubts, saddled by grief, would I be joyous, were I the king? Thus spoke Sanjaya. Bent to restrain, Arjun had no more to speak. Make I privy, O my lord, speaks as Krishna to Arjun, stood who there in confusion. Thus spoke the Lord, evering as knowing, worried over trivia, reckon never wise, dead and alive both. You and me, as well these, have had past, future as well. Wise all realize, embodies self-same spirit in one, from birth to death in every birth. Sensual feelings, grief and joy, transient or like heat and cold. They who pain and pleasure equal, such are those on path freedom. What's not real, it's never been, and that's true, it's ever there. Thus how wise all came to see. Spirit in layers all pervading, given that not to destruction, what sense doth it make to think that's immutable gets destroyed? Perish all bodies, spirit not therein. Know this truth and take up arms. With no slayer, nor one slain, whoso feels that he might kill, it's in delusion that he harps. Unbound being, ever unborn, ageless since it's endless too, goes on spirit beyond lifespan. Spirit as entity hath no birth. How can thou kill what's not born? Change as men fade if close, so does spirit as frames are worn. Hurts no weapon the spirit in thee, nor scathe elements, wind, water and fire. Unalterable and eternal, immovable but pervades all, permanent and so everlasting. Spirit thus none can ever destruct. Can sense form? Spirit get bound? Get right answer, thou won't burn. Prima facie, if thou feel, subject spirit is to rebirth, why grieve over end of frame? Dies as one, but like rebirth, why feel sad of what cyclic? Is thy lament over that, unmanifested to start with, gets manifested just as guessed, and bids adieu in due course? Seen in wonder, spoken in awe, spirit none knows that lies in him. Dies not spirit as die beings, what for man then tends to grieve? Being a warrior, dharma thine, that thee fight with all thy might, for martyrs of unsought wars, ever open or heavenly gates. If thee back out from duty, imperil thou thy own dharma, and that ends the infamy. What for lead a dishonored life, while you listened dubious behind? Amiss be taken thine intent, treat thee coward thy friends and foes, count on thou thy detractors, besmirch they thy character, damned be thine obituary by their campaign of slander. If slain, heaven, alive, its reign, resolve to fight with right intent. Shed thy sentiment, guilt unhinged, I not gain, as wage thou war. It's this knowledge that liberates and helps thee act with no restraint. Goes not waste, effort thine ever, zeal for action, frees from fear. In their resolve succeed firm, mind as wavers, loose infirm. Unwise use or enticing, flowery language too further, rituals Vedic in their scores, not the knowledge of Vedas. Eyeing heaven with mind mundane, go for ceremonies such in hope of having best of both the worlds. Pursue if thou wants with zeal, instincts then would spin thy mind. Aspects of life reveal Vedas for, transcend those dualities in them as inherent. Well waters draw, Veda dependent, banks on reservoir, well wall realized. Hold as patent on thy work, reckon thou not on royalty, with no way to ceasing work, no mind outcome but go on. It's but yoga if thou strive, wants without, emotions bereft. Work well greedy with motive, work wise not with result in mind. Wise not sentiment bring to work, thus hallmark of art of work. Freed from bonds with mind even, act wise regardless, ever composed. Clears if reason, one's illusion, bothers he not to whatsoever, or for what might lie in store. Stands as firm, mind thy clear, steer thou clear of path rituals. Thus spoke Arjuna, how to spot the yogi true, were he there ever in the crowd? Thus spoke the Lord, blessed or strong with blissful self, helps them that slight all that tempts, oblivious of misfortune, not the one to crave for fun, sways not ever by his feelings, stays thus yogi ever even, unfettered by attachment, compliments to indifferent, adversity by unshaken, wisdom thus is personified. Stimuli those of organs sensory, tortoise likewise, drawing to shell. Senses clean, whoso abstains, sense he longing, turns he godly. Senses as may tend them rash, wise as well stray from right path. Rein in senses, hone thine effort, rely on supreme, thus true wisdom. Leans man on, lends what charm, brings that want, and thus fault. Despair is what clouds reason, brings that wind through deeds mindless. Yield to senses, sense craving, cap as thou thy wants dubious. Calm that offsets woes of life, and that equable makes thy mind. Lacks mind focus as it strays, robs that peace and joy thereby. As in sees sense both rudder, so coarse sensual man loses, with tight leash on their senses, wise with ease lead poised lives, ignoring all ignorant crave, wise take note what folks not note, subdues as sea, reverse it holds, wise keep cool while wants taming, freed of ego and wants as well, blessed are wise who lack longing, state is that of true being, with no tenseness of being, life ever in that mode being, makes what one with all being. Ends thus, all about life, the second chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of Self-Help. On to the third chapter. Thus spoke Arjuna, capping wants if better's action, how come thou then push for war? Find thy heart to grasp all this, thou be forthright, what is right. Thus spoke the Lord, apply knowledge and be freed, or make thou tango with forego. Precepts these your I fashioned, work-shy being is no freedom, dormant being makes no living. None like for man non-action, keeps him nature ever engaged. Reference if one ever craving, restraint is but misleading. Rinse as carnal, tucked in mind, strive who doth in deeds excel. Lest thee shouldst take survival, turn thy back not on thy work, ever thee act at par duty, let that be thy goal of life. Lead mankind in Janaka's route, to moksha en route, deeds selfless. As and when thou prove thy worth, emulates world and acts all thine. Left with none to gain or prove, keep I myself ever engaged. Were I to fail to self-exert, man might follow suit as well. Were I to refrain from working, puts that man on ruinous course. Strive as wise to act freely, get bound unwise, ever restrained. Waste not breath, ill-informed with, wise show ways through their own deeds. Gloat as egotists of their deeds, so star acts in one's nature. Those that see the senses lie behind the deeds are truly freed. Let go wise, who swear by joys of life that nature tends. Act not with fear and favor, unto me leave right and wrong. Whoso takes this advice feels no burden, ever engaged. Who this lets go mindlessly, gropes in darkness, ever in life. Beings as by nature ruled, in spite of their self-restraint, wise to tend to lose their way. Pace it to see, grips ever is, senses those thy nature tends. Thus spoke Arjuna, why should one with right intent stray ever on the base wayward? Thus spoke the Lord, well, its passion, lust and wrath drag that man on path painful. Flame and mirror as shrouded, without let by smoke and dust, as well embryo in the womb, wisdom is by wants clouded. Wise all tend to cap all wants, which like fire all burn to core. Wield of wisdom sees not man, mind and body steeped in wants. Rein in matter with thy mind, thus thou nip thy wants in bud. Score over senses, sensuous feelings, betters that mind, bettered by knowing, but above all spirit that reigns supreme. Let thy spirit rule the roost, restrain thou thy mind mischievous. Ends thus, Theory of Action, the third chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of Self-Help. On to the 4th chapter. Thus spoke the Lord, advice this to son I gave, told he Manu, Ishvaku thus got in turn. Followed world, my word for long, lost with mankind in due course. It's but love I nurse for thee, made me reveal this secret, wisdom supreme I gave son. Thus spoke Arjuna, born of now, how come thou didst son advise therefore long? Thus spoke the Lord, born all here, time umpteen, aware am I, but know not thou. Beyond the pale of birth and death, on my volition I take birth. Whence if good and will gain reign, know it's then that I come forth. It's thus I from time to time manifest here to uproot ill and uphold well for public good. Grasp who this true self of me are bound to become one with me. So with who lead poised life, reigning in their base instincts, detached from what happens, it's this knowledge that frees man. Men of yore all came to know, thus how one can free himself. Aspects action, inaction too, want to puzzle the wise even. Apart actions, rights and wrongs, inaction no less confounds man. Grasping action in non-action, inaction in action, discern wise. Whoso privy to this truth, gives up wants all senses seek. He that content leans on none, resigned he lives in thick of things. Mind if keeps thy greed at bay, it's no sin thou meet thy needs. One that truly well realized, happy being with his share, rids of envy from his mind. Easy he feels, ever engaged, treats he alike grief and joy, wins and losses, not to speak. Acts of man to favor none, grace they have of deeds selfless. Better wise deeds than acts selfless. Wise thus strive to better themselves. As and when thou this realize, in us both then world is sent, and get rid of thy illusions. Voyage by thy boat knowledge helps thee cross all seas sinful. Fire as wood to ashes turns, so spark wisdom burns thy sloth. None that betters this wisdom, realize thou by striving hard. Hone thy senses steeped in faith, and thou be wise and freed of all. Besides those who this doubt, here as above, suffer uncouth. Doubts at bay with analyzed thought, detach deeds of applied knowledge, thus how regardless, wise all work. Thus, O Arjun, sever doubts with thy sword wisdom, and fight thy foes with all thy strength. Hence thus, practical wisdom, the 4th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of Self-Help. On to the 5th chapter. Thus spoke Arjuna, pray be clear as thee ever, act and give up in self-same breath. Thus spoke the Lord, give up all and thou be freed. So is the case with selfless work, but no later scores much better. Wise neither want nor they shun, thus how they give up ever engaged. Way action and path learning, no not ignorant, not different. Work highway and lane freedom, know the learned are the same. What thou forego, if thee cease, deeds selfless make, acts forsake. Such one realize, self-filled, dutiful, within self remains, without ever engage. Privy to this will realize, on his body as it works, say hath he none, to name one. Wise do realize, needs physical, urges are they, driven by genes. Spreads on lotus leaves as water, sticks none sin of deeds duteous. Wise in selfless work engage, forego while they self-purify. Wise ever stay cool, never in want, bogged down but naive, ever in want. Covetous not and ever laid back, wise in tune with supreme lay. It's his nature, not the spirit, makes man act by wants and dues. Takes not supreme credit or fault, grasp none have of this uncouth. He that keeps his bias at bay, sun-like he shines, being wise. In clear conscience, unfairness, gives man freedom, faith in him. Keeps who equity ever in thought, faultless being, attains he Brahman. Instead Brahman, gloats never man, as smiles fortune, nor loses heart when things go wrong. Joys induced, all tide one soon, stays self-joys, all blissful souls, end as in grief, joys of flesh, go not wise for pleasure such brief. Subdue lust and rein in wrath, leads that to thy state of joy. Live in ease, the true knowing, enjoy they all within themselves, with pure intent, sans ill will, realized all reach, state supreme. Unmoved by his mind subdued, stays ever free the self-realized. Ends thus, Art of Renunciation, the 5th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of Self-Help. On to the 6th chapter. Thus spoke the Lord, forego none if forsake course, I not gain and thou be freed. If thou let go, it's godly, makes that heart thy self-interest. Uphill though the way forsake, as and when thou make it there, stay thus put with no more strain. Reining senses, sans motive, wise on selfless, deeds focus. Noble or naughty, it's thy make, self thus thine, what shapes thyself. Mind if free, is thy friend, for it turns, let one lose. Overcome if vicissitudes, wipe thee well with me supreme. Valuable or be otherwise, treat all alike, self-realize, thus they remain ever even. Wise is one, folks who treats, none the fear and sans favor. With no longing, freed of want, it's then thou reach yogic state. Rooted in self, yogi true, lamp he likens in still air. Restrain mind in self-focus, beatitude of life that makes. Transcend senses, if thy mind is then thou reach state of bliss. Rooted so on peak of bliss, wise not bother loss of life. So to live in yogic state, untie wise from life's bothers. Wise keep tabs on self-impulse, effects to without are they immune. Wed wise focus with calm mind makes that life of theirs tranquil. Pulled by wants as strips the mind, gain grown wise by self-leverage. Passions languid, mind tranquil, keep man ever on blissful course. Minds that pure with self-control leads that man to state Brahman. Espy wise in right outlook, others in self and vice versa. Discern me in what they see, ever they find me nearby them. Me who sees in all beings, he is the one that dwells in me. He is the yogi, self feels who, joys of others and grief as well. Thus spoke Arjuna, frail being man, fail I see, yoga thou espouse, lasting in practice. Can one ever tame his mind, like the wind that yields to none? Thus spoke the Lord, calm and custom bring in ropes, tough was though to subdue mind. Fail keep going unruly, persevere self-will all the way. Thus spoke Arjuna, what if one throws up all, lacks whose zeal hath no faith? Resolve if dissolves in mid-course, won't that be like scattered clouds? Kindly dispel all my doubts, think I none of else for that. Thus spoke the Lord, strives if one to end his self, ends not in grief, here or there. Harness habit of birth past, helps man strive to self-realize. With the reason thus imbibe, realize outwit scholars there. Awareness of births of yore, helps the striving gain moksha. Ahead in protocol comes yogi, learned ascetics as all sticklers for rituals. He is the yogi of yogis, self-inner who fills with me. Ends thus practice of restraint, the 6th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of Self-Help. On to the 7th chapter. Thus spoke the Lord, how to retain me in mind, he in yoga comes to know. Make thee privy that knowledge, leaves that no scope for some more. Rarely beings seek their self, of them but a few me grasp. Earth and ether, fire and air, water, mind, sense and self, elements are of my nature. It's this nature holds all worlds, but above and apart is my nature. While my higher nature brings, ends all that low nature mine. Better than me none exists, on my hinges whatever exists. I am that what is sapid in water, I am the glow of sun and moon. I am the thunder above in skies, verily I am the virility of males. Order of this earth is me, heat of fire and life in being, as well wisdom in forsake. I am the seed of all beings, intellect as well, man's valor. It's me strength of even life, as well order of sex in order. Virtue, passion, so too delusion, send I forth though all of them, come to dwell in none of them. Spellbound by these natures, knows not man my true nature. If thee forsake well and true, to me then thou come and grasp nature's these mine illusions. Who in supreme hath no faith, gripped are by these illusions, and thus go on path wayward, distressed, desirous, unknowing. Such pies are those me worship. Of these but the steadfast man, with pure intent, gets my nod. Noble as all worship me, the knower true is self-same me. Once in a while, bursts after many, born who knows I pervade worlds. Unmanifest, am state supreme, but saddle me with form uncouth. Dull in delusion, won't perceive, me thus unborn, wheel from them. Am privy to what goes on, but man hath no grasp of me. Illusions duel, wanton wrath, ever in delusion keep they man. Pure-minded, sans illusions, on me such of virtue lean. Seek all those who my refuse, see they Brahman, ever in self. Me be all and end all grass, me he ponders on deathbed. Hence thus, know the spirit, the 7th chapter of Bhagvad-Gita, treatise of self-help. On to the 8th chapter. Thus spoke Arjuna, O Lord apprise, what's Brahman? Lies what within and backs action, nature of deities, besides the beings. What is that guides bodily acts, what makes yogis realize thee? Thus spoke the Lord, self-imperishable is Brahman, but well sit yet in beings there, brings that forth these acts supreme. Perish as beings, all in time, spirit that last of them is me. In the end, the wave and tents, charts that future, course he takes. If thou act with this in mind, in the end thou gain me true. By my word now up for war, with thy strength and skill I gave. Me they reach, whoso keep on me focus as they work. Having come to stay with me, get they rid of births and deaths. Journey to Brahman holds return ticket, journeys back none, abode from mine. Wise all realize, days Brahman, ages thousands make with nights. By day as he brings beings, unmanifest he all by night. It's all rebirth through his day, but with nightfall sees they all. As he wakes up, puts he back. My state supreme that never ends, unmanifested, it's above Brahman. It's my abode that's supreme, for man to reach, not to live. It's through devotion that they gain. State supreme that pervades worlds, ends thus cycle of creation, the 8th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, treatise of self-help. On to the 9th chapter. Thus spoke the Lord, unenvied as though I would tell the art of leading fruitful life. Supreme secret, thus sacred, profound dharma for mankind, fair and simple, practicable. Fail who follow this dharma, pay their price in recurring births. Whatever is there I pervade, in my ambit lay beings, though it's not the other way round. Fail if thou to grasp it thus, feel as though I am confined in what I bring forth unsustained. Skies enrooted, wind as spreads, dwell in me though disperse all. Its I make the nature bring, beings hapless in their course. Since I function not in passion, bound am none by acts all these, is the nature ruled by me, takes the world the way it goes. Though I am Lord of all beings, give me human form the knave, and thus they do belittle me. While in delusion lead their lives, in vainness they waste their time. With me in mind, well-meaning, see their beings sourced in me. With right intent and focus, such me worship with true faith. Those as meditate and worship, them I take my wings under. Hold I dear a leaf even, offered when by pure-minded. Act thou throughout in good faith, thus thou make me feel honored. Rid be thou of all that binds, freed be thus thou come to me. None I favor, slight I none, devote mine all, gain me true. Start as wicked, my worship, take them all as well realized. Tend I them, then turn even, devote mine none, go restive. Hence the secret sacred, the 9th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, treatise of self-help. On to the 10th chapter. Thus spoke the Lord, Hear thy lend, my words peerless, bound they regale as thee gain. Source thou gods and seers in me, grasp they have none of my source. Me as Lord of all who sees, turns he back on wrongdoings. Source in me all faculties, state of mind of beings too. Varied I made vicissitudes, as the case with attitudes. Willed I birth of progenitors all, 7 seers great and elders 4, not to mention sovereign 14. Grasps as one the power of mind, keeps he would his mind then firm. Who this gets in my worship, tends he then to turn to me. Whoso to me thus taken, delights he takes in praising me. Him I help to realize that which is needed to reach me. Doubts I dispel his for good, grant I wisdom to his thought. Thus spoke Arjuna, O Lord thou, supreme Brahman, abode ultimate, purifier primordial, indweller permanent, ungod primeval. Thus how sages down the ages, Narada foremost, described thee, affirmed Asita, Devala and Vyasa, all of that thou confirm now. None can ever be sure of thee. Hold I true thus what thou say, God of gods, O Lord of all, thou but know self thy true. Pray thee confide thy nature, with which thou all worlds transcend. How to grasp all aspects thine, how to engage thee in mine. Make me privy, O my Lord, forms and attributes of thyself. Thus spoke the Lord, of all countless glories mine, suffice thee knew a few of them. I am the self of one and all, I am the beginning as well end, not to speak of in between. Vishnu Yam of all deities, Sun the luminous of luminous, Marichi Yam immortal, as well moon, the star of stars. I am the Sama of Vedas, it's me Indra, God of gods, of all organs, mind is me, and so life in all beings. Shankar Yam, the Lord of lords, Kubera richest of Yakshas, of the Vasus, no Yam fire, and Yam Meru, peak foremost. In those echelons ruled by gods, it's me Bruhaspati, priest of priests, marshal that great Skanda on earth, besides the ocean, among the seas. So Yam Om, that sound supreme, of rituals Yam, prayer muted, Himalayas high, that kiss the skies. I am the fig, the tree foremost, and so heavenly, says Narad, Maestro divine, Chitrad Yam, besides Kapila, the sage attained. Uchchaisravas, Yam has foremost, nectar that was churned in seas, Airavat white, Indra's elephant, sovereign whoso crowns mankind. Vajrayudhyam, weapon mighty, Kamadhenu, that cow holy, Cupid who aids to sustain life, Vasuki, the fierce king serpent, Ismi Anant of Nagas, Varnayam of aquatics, Ismi Aryama, main of mains, Yama the ruler of beings, Prahladyam, the demon godly, among the reckoners, I am the time, Ismi lion of wildlife all, as well Garud, that rules the skies, I am the wind that purifies all, among the archers, Ramayam, I am the shark, that mighty fish, and the Ganges, ever in flow. Hinjayam, that holds all worlds, source is me of spiritual thought, of Vedanta, I am pro-contra. Alphayam, of alphabets all, likeness I am in, like compounds, I am the time of endlessness, it's me Brahma, of four heads. I am the death that devours all, as well brings forth that beings, besides what makes woman's glory. Yamsama, the grand octane, like none meter, Gayatri, Margasir pleasant, Mantayam, as well splendid, spring season. I am the splendor of splendorous, besides fraud in dice as well. I am the goodness in great souls, effort that takes to succeed well. It's me Vasudev of Yadavs, of the Pandavs, thou art me, Noyam Vyasa of sages, poet laureate, Sukra great. Justice I am in every court, policy I am of all conquest, secret I am of every mute, wisdom I am of what is wise. I am the seed of all beings, from me apart none exists. Endless are my attributes, this brief is for just thy grasp. All thus glorious, all therein, is but spark of my splendor. O dear friend, need there none to delve in full, suffice to say, is portion mine that supports all. Hence thus, discern the divine, the 10th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, treatise of self-help. On to the 11th chapter. Thus spoke Arjuna, thy words compelling, spirit about indwelling, uttered in compassion, dispelled my delusion. Besides I have heard about thy glories, origins of beings, and how it all ends. Thou art verily what thee ever wish I espied from thy divine. If thou so feel I am worthy, let me espy thy true self. Thus spoke the Lord, divine I let thee, divinity mine, of whose varied colours and kinds, find Adityas, dwell therein, Vasu's 8 and Aswin twins, Rudra's 11 and Maru's 9, wonders umpteen, none else seen. May thou discern in my frame much more than thy thought would take. Bestow thee that ESP helps thee espy form supreme beyond the pale of God's own sight. Thus spoke Arjuna, in thou find I Brahman, lotus, gods and sages, beings and serpents, with no beginning, end unsighted, boundless find I in the universe. Find I blinding, light that blazing, from thy diadem, club and discus. Thou art supreme, indweller ancient, eternal refuge, Dharma's guardian. Eyes sunlike and oven for mouth, how thou radiate in arms thy manifold. Fills thy frame, the space entire, makes thy sight the worlds tremble. See in thee the angelic world, find them all, thou pray in awe. Spot thy sages in their scores, hear them extol thee in hymns. Demigods all and celestial folk, stand they stunned and look at thee, makes it awful, sight thine terrible. Bear as thou those Vedagans, perplexed am I by thy sight, seems I have lost my sense of self. Discern another in thy face, pray assume now form normal. See I Bhishma, Dron and Karn, Kauravs, ours, making way to mouth thy wide. Nauseous sight of teeth thine terrible, gnashing heads of their smithereens. Rivers as run towards the seas, so these armies towards thy mouths. Consume worlds as mouths thy blazing, find thy blinding, rest those scorching. Who art thou, this terrible thing? For what avail? Mission this thine, grip now am with urge to know. Thus spoke the Lord, I am the time that enfolds all, it's all over, foremost here. Doomed are they, no mind war. Since I have handed them sentence, thou art no more than hangman. Finish them all and flourish in turn, brings as in thee power and pelf. Take up arms and lap up crown for Drona, Bhishma and Karna, as well Jayadratha with the rest. Truly are they doomed by me. Thus spoke Sanjaya, stunned as he by what transpired. Beseech Partha, Lord Krishna. Thus spoke Arjuna, sing thy praises, the rejoiced world. Hither and thither run, wicked in awe. Bow to thee, though self-realize. Can one fail to worship thee, Creator's Creator and universal? Thee the primal, all-dweller, thou all-knower, one to know. God of gods, O our Father, thee I salute on and on. One and all, who pervades all, thou all-powerful, praise be thee. Ignorant being of thy great being, owing to contempt, familiarity bred, sadly I have been badly behaving. As I took thee for granted, kindly forgive, O great soul. Thou art greater than greatest, none thee in three worlds equal. Treat me kindly and forgive, all I crave for is thy grace. Form thy current, holds dreadful, praise show divine, grace of thine. With mace, discus and diadem, pray assume thy form forearmed. Thus spoke the Lord, as thou please me, so I have shown, form my endless, none else seen. Take to penance, or pour over 4 Vedas, none that helps to see this form. Having beheld my bewildering form, now is with my form normal. Thus spoke Sanjaya, having said thus Lord assume, his form normal, that calmed Arjuna. Thus spoke Arjuna, O Lord, now I feel normal, with thy gentle form human. Thus spoke the Lord, ever crave gods and angels too, just to behold that thee beheld. Austerities well Vedic grasp, charity as well ritual regimen, get none to what thou hadst seen. Yet in devotion divines man attains besides form this mind. He that takes me for supreme and treats his work as mine own one, gets who rid of his restraints and keeps his faith in me always. He who bears no ill feeling, ever on move he comes to me. Hence thus nature of omnipresence, the 11th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of self-help. On to the 12th chapter. Thus spoke Arjuna, pray tell who is better realized, one that devoted as stated, or relies who on God obscure. Thus spoke the Lord, me in devotion who worships, him I reckon as well realized. Having said that, add I might, looks as one to God obscure, doth he find with senses lean, if well disposed towards the world. But its tough was none the less for one to realize God obscure. Whosoever hath faith in me and leans on me, heart and soul, him I help to cross over ocean vast of births and deaths. If thou develop faith in me, take for granted I take thee, worthy to fail develop faith. Is not thou reach blindly, ever me having in thy mind, practice lets thee turn the bend. If thou feel thus hard as well, indulge then in deeds me please. If thou find that difficult to, give thyself to me supreme, act then with thy subdued mind, with no thought for what follows. Scores thought over mere roting, better meditation, awareness to, what helps man to find moorings, or axe his with no axe to grind. Kind-hearted and considerate, friendly-natured, forgiving too, lays no store on highs and lows, suffers no pride and possessive not. Who is patient and cheerful, self-willed as well persevering, who is hearty, ever at work, makes he devote, my beloved. Troubles he none, or perturbs, it's such poise I am proud of. Who is simple, never in want, covets he not in vantage post, shakes him none, he keeps his nerve, it's such who me please the most. He is my darling, who craves not, yet won't shun the pleasures of life, takes but things all as they come. Treats he equal, friends and foes, scorn or honor, minds he not, keeps he cool in grief and joy, nurses for none, soft center, pats and slight, all in the score, treats as equal, score my man, takes he in his stride his lot, but won't put the blame on me. Who in dharma disengage, them I hold in special esteem. Ends thus Doctrine of Faith, the 12th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of Self-Help. On to the 13th chapter. Thus spoke Arjuna, what is nature and its role? What is spirit and its nature? What is frame and who lords it? What makes feeling and sixth sense? Thus spoke the Lord, sees who body his as field, sees he all there is to see, knows who spirit one dwells in all, knows he all thus there to know. Lend thy ear as I reveal nature of thy frame, spirit that tenants as former, besides him and his prowess. In chants validate what Vedas, aspects that well, Brahmanas dwell, reason wise in varied ways. Subject to reason, ego as well, steeped his frame in elements 5, earth, water, fire, ether and air, organs those 10, as well mind. Desire, derision, pleasure and pain, pitch their tents in frames human. Knowing is being, amiable and humble, simple and honest, patient and decent, clean and clear, not to speak of fair and firm. Void of desires, egotism devoid, passion none for life and times, with no craving for possessions, fondness none for things of life, none the evers all the same. Neither fail to follow suit, tend all wise to probe nature, and strive to see the spirit in me. Let me tell thee what's needed to let thee grasp the straight Brahman, which if done would bring in bliss. All-reaching, he is all-seeing, all-hearing, he pervades all, organs in his likeness made, unlinked though to their senses, he that sustains all three worlds, unattached though to goings on, in beings all and objects too, within he lies, without as well. If one comes to grasp this well, its perception thus supreme, it's how Brahman dwells in all, till he ends all, what that keeps. He is the light that leaves no shade, he is the one for one to know, he is the goal of all learning, he is the tenant in every heart. It's the noble of the frame, me who worship, come to grasp. Spirit and nature, ageless both, nature of beings, of nature born. It's nature that tends beings, binding spirit to one's own acts. Spirit that lay in beings all, inclines to one's attitudes. With the ethos it imbibes, tends it one to like rebirth. Gets one freed as he grasps aspects nature and spirit as well. Indulge who in meditation find their supreme spirit in them, some as divine through wisdom, others do so by deeds selfless. He who finds this all too hard, may he obtain wise counsel and be rid of births and deaths. Whatever exists in this world, design spirit in nature's womb. Sees he well, who would see what doth perish is just the frame, and there none to spirit therein. Realize if thou, spirit in thee, same as one that dwells in all, hurt thou never thine own self, thereby attain me supreme. Beings act per their nature, thus the spirit that lay in them hath no hand in deeds of theirs. Having none its attributes, apart being from nature, spirit hath no qualms of its own, as with ether spread all over. None the sullied, exposed being, so is the case with spirit in thee. Sun as one lights all three worlds, is one spirit that glows all frames. Aware if thee of spirit and frame, freest that thou from all bindings, making way to reach supreme. Hence thus, field and farmer, the 13th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of Self-Help. On to the 14th chapter. Thus spoke the Lord, pass I now thee that knowledge, with which sages free themselves. Knows whoso this reaches me, keeps thus births and deaths at bay. To tie the spirit and body tight, uses nature as its threads, virtue, passion, as well delusion. Spirit as well gets well enticed by the charms of life well led, steeped in wisdom and virtue. Frames of passion as it wears, spirit gets fond of joys of life. It's in delusion, spirit with sloth, doth go into on wrong path. Gives man virtue, life of ease, grinds him passion in despair, deprives delusion, him of reason. Of the trio often takes as lead role one of these, others to sidelines are confined. Wearing wisdom on his sleeve, radiates virtuous throughout life. Pain greedy or ever restive, is the way all passionate live. Dull in mind and perverted, in work lethargic, he is but deluded. Peaks as virtue, dies as one, ascends he the state highest. Dies if one with passion on hold, comes he back to resume things. Lives who deluded all his life, gets he none better in rebirth. Virtuous sully never there lies, rue passionate as chase joys, go down deluded, drain of life. Gives as virtue, wisdom true, renders passion unto grief, leads as delusion into sloth. Echelons virtuous reach higher, remain as is where passionate, go down ladder ever deluded. Out of orbit if thou go, of nature that grips thy mind, freed be thou of recurring births. Thus spoke Arjuna, can man ever reign in matter? Is there regimen that reigns it? Thus spoke the Lord, with no let or ever hindrance, whatever it be, he lets go. Takes he things all as they come, with none fondness or distaste. Seeing it all nature's work, from the fringes of conscience, detach he watches goings on. It's in fairness that he weighs, affairs of life in fine balance. Sans self, ego, self-realized, works his way to state tranquil. It's by capping his nature, where was he not from the path that which truly leads to me, and in end he turns Brahman. It's me immortal, self of Brahman, dharma eternal, that's all blissful. Hence thus, proclivities to know, the 14th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of Self-Help. On to the 15th chapter. Thus spoke the Lord, why see nature as fig tree hues, roots such planted in high skies, branching down with Vedic leaves, helps which man to state supreme. So to feed on their organs, with its downwards roots it ties, beings all to mundane things, with man being charged by wants, supplies he the feed it needs through the knots of threefold ways. Man has face to lay his hands, roots on those that entwine him, helps dispassion sunder them. Roots as sundered, one gets freed to reach the Vedic branch in reach. Grass has he, the truth there all, goes he up from branch to branch to end up on the root utmost on which abode supreme lies. Freed of pride, desire and delusion, climbs as he, in self he dwells. Feels he same of pleasure and pain, detached he reaches the supreme. Sun too doth pale, nears it when, seat of moksha, abode of mind. Spirit as lies in being's all, gets it rubbed with one's nature. Wind as carries scent of flowers, while leaving them as is where. In like fashion, spirit from frames moves his awareness to rebirths. Know not fools in lifetime theirs, nature of spirit thus lies in them, but ever on move from frame to frame. This by striving wise realize, fail though knave in spite of it. Perish all beings, though in time, perishes not the spirit in them. Self-mind highest thus sustains, is but different from that one. Since I transcend that perishes, apart and above the eternal one, Vedas watch me, soul supreme. Whoever me a soul supreme, in my worship bring their faith. Grasps who nuances of this science, turns he wise and accomplished thus. Ends thus, Art of Liberation, the 15th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of Self-Help. On to the 16th chapter. Thus spoke the Lord, pure in heart and courage to boot, even mind with helping hand, works who hard and tries to grasp, austere, upright, and well-read. Even tempered, loves he peace, liberal-minded, with kind heart, calm and truthful, well-mannered. Fickle he not, or calumnious, modest-natured, covets he not. Free of bias, he is fair-minded. Strong in will, he stalls envy. Humble, and he forgives too. He is virtuous, thus are marked. Make all vile, rude guys all, vainglorious and haughty too. Besides being indignant, no less are they indulgent. Gives as virtue, man freedom, keeps him vileness ever constrained. World is as of good and bad, serves thee to know latter too. Conduct of theirs lacks virtue, bear their demeanor thus impure. Branding beings, sexual products, reckon not such in God and truth. These small minds of ruined souls wreck their world with acts of wrath. Pride and lust, long wish list, while in conceit live impure. Seeing life as one to gloat, while by impulse go to lengths. Seek while creatures ever shortcuts, on way to wants their ill-get wealth. Think all while in like terms, this is mine, so let me keep. Why not have I more of it? For this mind I've truly flowed, won't I tackle the rest of them? Sure I am lord of mine own world. Note all while, gloat as such. Besides wealthy, I am well born. Won't I give and enjoy too? To their hurt in illusion while, end up slaves of joys of flesh. In vain glory, live all while, and for show off, spend they well. Blinded by pride, lustful lot, me they ill-treat, lay in them. Live all deluded, far from me, depraved ladder they go down. Dittos, lust, wrath and greed, self-destruct to go hellward. Steer if clear, perish these men, see they then the path perfect. In their impulse while impinge upon the scriptures that hold good, and thus keep ever from supreme. Ordained scriptures, rights and wrongs, is now left to choose thy course. Ends thus, Frailty of Thought, the 16th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of Self-Help. On to the 17th chapter. Thus spoke Arjuna, none the regard for scriptures, who tend to manage life there well. What thou say of such beings, virtuous, passionate, or merely deluded? Thus spoke the Lord, It's one's nature that tends him to be virtuous, passionate, or deluded. Beings all have faith in some, it's one's nature that shapes it. Virtuous seek gods in worship, up passionate to humor ghosts, turn all deluded towards the heads, hoping for their all to gain, indulge vain in austerities, though not endorsed by scriptures. It's in delusion they all fast, emaciating frames of theirs, thus in foolishness they all famish mine own self in them. As with habits, so with palates, come to tend all in three ways. Up virtuous, all recipes fine, sustain health and enhance strength. Hot and spicy, unpungent, prefer food passionate, that ill suits. Food of deluded is all stale, long in storage and impure. Rings with truth and laced with warmth, its speech austere, thus well-meaning. Simple and stoic, kind and candid, its mind austere, with self-control. Wanting none, never in turn, done in concern, deed its austere. Its in pretension, passionate live, I they have on name and fame. With troubled mind, or deluded live, hurt themselves and others as well. Virtuous deed is that extends helping hand to one in need, guided by the zeal to serve. Deed passionate is quid pro quo, ever done with some end in mind. Aiding dubious with disdain is deed deluded that lacks goal. Ends thus Science of Devotion, the 17th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Treatise of Self-Help. On to the 18th chapter. Thus spoke Arjuna, pray thee tell, for my grasp, all about sannyas, path forsake, and self-denial, thus tyaga. Thus spoke the Lord, lack inclination, it's sannyas, sans wants work what makes tyaga. For some sages, effort per se, others give not to deeds noble. Make thee privy of three ways, by which men all give up well. Effort, gift and austerity, take men all on road forsake. Forsake I this, was safe when, axe man with no axe to grind. Avoid obligation, is no abnegation. Boils it down to give up in delusion. Forgo made easy, passionate opt, desist from duties that strain them. Indulge virtuous in their work, with no thought of its outcome. With no illusion but diligence, carries renunciant his duties, agreeable or otherwise too. Needs one work to sustain life, delinquents avoid, overloads all. Factors 5, all deeds engulf, know them well to free thyself. Prone or act to these aspects, body to sustain, ego that goads, senses thy lure, life to God, faith in deities that tempts thee. Be well or so be ill, inward thought and deed as well, source or acts in these aspects. Ignoramus in vain ascribe acts of theirs to spirit in them, is for thee to realize now that by killing these Kauravas, slay thee none of them thyself. Aspects knowable, known and knower, lead to duty, deed and doer in that order. Knowable as well deeds and doers, bracket those freed in three groups. Lay indivisible in frames divisible, realize virtuous, spirit not perishable. Spirit in them and others that lies, apart and unique, feel passionate, failing to see beyond the self, deluded think like frogs in well. Illusions of life virtuous, see in light of limitations, thus they carry business like duties that their life ordains. In want passionate come to live, bogged down by what they eye, deluded work in reckless ways, harm their cause and others as well. Taking well and ever at ease, senses honed and ego even, detached virtuous ever engage, mind as covetous and thought impure, crave passionate all things mundane, which them excite as well pull down. Verily deluded, vulgar and vacillate, arrogant, dishonest, ignorant and malicious, indolent being, remain they gloomy. By natures of these beings, features intellect theirs vary. Deal virtuous in measures equal, way they find or dish their fare. Perspective lack passionate right, in weed ways they tend their lives. Given their state of perversion, go all deluded on wrong path. Virtuous ever in self-control, steady their wavering mind of theirs. Things that seem to bring joys, passionate all with zeal pursue. Proud and arrogant, doubting and grieving, bogged down deluded in despair. Make a note of these three ways, pains which banish and fetch bliss. What fail sprint and serve long run, what was no keep was at bay. Is the way with thy passion to jump at all that what might tempt, which would turn so in due course. Ever in daydreams, end up deluded in dreamlands. Beyond the pale of these natures, none ever exists in three worlds. With no want, Elysian to none, freed from action, thou forsake. Leads how forsake to Brahman, know that wisdom supreme now. With pure mind and will that strong, wants thou void and form thyself. Frugal of food, thoughts reined in, dwell within self, thou sans passion. Lack thou pride, wish and wrath, give up ego, crave not power. Be content and live in peace, is then thou come near Brahman. Treat all beings ever equal, and in devotion live tranquil, is thou attain state Brahman. Is then one would know me true, that tends him to be one with me. Let thy faith in me be strong, take me thou for thy shelter, and ever thee act as my agent. It's all smooth sail, if heeded, at thy peril thou this ignore. Is thine ego sues for peace, but prevails what is thy nature. Sidetrack might thine illusions, but nature thine would shape thy deeds. Fix thy mind on me supreme, find thou peace in my refuge. That the head of this wisdom, for task on hand now apply mind. O dear friend, let me tell, word my final that benefits. If one remains to me firm, is my promise I take him. Set all aside and have faith, thus sans sin reach me thou. None of this for those who lack faith in me and selfless work. Whoso passes this secret to devote mine all reach me true. Know not I a dearer soul, none there ever a better service. Who that studies this discourse, he me praise in true wisdom. Hears this whoso in good faith attains he the world's higher. Looks as if thou got it right, let not delusions rule thy head. Thus spoke Arjuna, glad O Lord, gone are doubts, sense I gained with thy words. Thus spoke Sanjaya, is what I heard of that stirring dialogue between these great souls, Krishna and Arjuna as they spoke. It's with Vyasa's grace I have heard the speedless art of yogic life which Lord Krishna taught Partha. Found I thrilling, dialogue stirring, reminiscing I rejoice again and again. What a wondrous form that was, recalling I rejoice again and again. Wherever yogic Lord Krishna joins hands with great Partha, goddess victory spreads carpet, heaven on earth to set there ever. Ends thus thy looking glass, the 18th chapter of Vyasa's classic Bhagavad-Gita, rendered by B.S. Murthy as treatise of self-help.